All right, what's going on, everybody? I am back, and today I'm going to do a video response for Stix G, and he's doing a really awesome video response contest where he wants us to focus on hockey. And if you follow my channel, you'll know that I am kind of newer to the game with the hockey collecting. Most of my collecting life and my active collecting periods, I guess I should clarify. I did have a little dark phase when I was in later high school and college and stuff where I just didn't collect. But the periods of time that I have collected, I've always been very heavy in baseball and basketball. I've always been a collector of both. And then football, which oddly enough, it's always been by far my favorite sport to watch. And I played football in high school. I love football. I love football. But I didn't always collect it, which was kind of weird. But I have been collecting football now for quite a while. And so I pretty much have always been, a collector of the big three. And hockey's always intrigued me. I love going to NHL games. Anytime I haven't been back to Philly in like 10 years now, but I used to go all the time before I got married. And I don't want that to sound bad if my wife watches this. I guess I better. I used to go there all the time before I was married because I could kind of do what I want when I want, and I could spend my money how I wanted. And I didn't have kids, and I didn't have a mortgage and all that kind of stuff, right? So nothing against my wife, but I just used to go to Philly a lot more than I do now. So anyway, whenever I would go back to Philly, I would always go every year, and I would see the Eagles, and I would try to work my trip around a weekend where the Flyers were in town. So I could also see the Philadelphia Flyers because the games are amazing. Hockey, in-person NHL is just fantastic. I love it. And so I've always been intrigued and wanted to collect hockey, but I just never really had that. I don't know. I never had any buddies that collected it. And so I just kind of never went for it. Well, fast forward to some years go by, and I think it was around March or so, I connected with Shane over at Shoebox Legends, and he's a huge hockey guy. And the more I watched his channel, and even other channels, I was really more intrigued. And Shane has really been the catalyst for it because he and we text, and he's really been cool to help me kind of brush up and figure out kind of how to jump into this thing. And so I am hooked. I love hockey. So that is kind of the long-winded explanation. I think I've been doing hockey since maybe March, so I'm not very far into it. And I've pretty much just been picking up singles and stuff because my LCS doesn't really have, they'll get a few hockey products in, but out in Utah, we don't have an NHL team. Closest team to us is Vegas. And I don't know. Yeah, we just don't have a team. And the Jazz are huge here. The Utah Jazz. So we have tons of NBA fans. And then football is always popular, but there's not a definitive team. But the NFL's king. It's king everywhere. And so we just don't have a lot of hockey collectors in Utah. And our LCS is just, at least my local LCS, doesn't really have a lot of offerings. And so I've just been kind of plucking singles here and there off of eBay and ComC and stuff. So this is kind of new. I don't have a ton, but I want to share what I have. Stix G wants us to share our top 5 favorite hockey cards. And I've got one that absolutely would be in my top 5, but I don't have it yet. I want it, and it hasn't been marked as shipped on eBay, so I'm a little bit nervous. I think the guy will ship it. I paid a pretty good chunk for it. But I don't have it. So until I have it in hand, I guess I won't count it as one of my 5. So I picked 5 that I have in my collection in hand right now that I will share for the Stix G video response. So the first one that I'm going to share as a Philadelphia Flyers fan, probably comes as no surprise, that I love Dave Schultz. And this is Dave Schultz's rookie card. Dave, and he inscribed it the Hammer. So Dave the Hammer Schultz, number 8, and he was on the Flyers 74 and 75 back-to-back Stanley Cup winning team, the Broad Street Bullies. He I think the year that they won it, they broke the all-time like penalty minutes record, and then the next year when they repeated, they broke that record. I mean, they were just, they were called the Broad Street Bullies. I mean, they were just a scrappy bunch. They fought like crazy, and Dave Schultz was the enforcer on that squad. And the funny thing with this card, so I met Dave Schultz at a bar before a Flyers game. I was in town. I think it was in '08, but I was over. If you guys are in Philly, I was eating at McFadden's. It's right there, kind of down by the sports complex, right on the back of Citizens Bank ballpark. And Dave Schultz came in, and so I've got a photo with Dave Schultz. And I didn't have anything to get signed or anything, but he was just super cool guy. He just kind of went and made the rounds and shook hands and visited with people. And I wanted to get his auto. And so I saw this on eBay. And then the funny thing about it is the seller on eBay was Hammer Enterprises. So I bought his signed rookie card from him. So it's kind of a unique, funny story behind that card. This is a recent purchase. I haven't even shared this on my channel yet. This was in my stack of eBay stuff to share. I am so behind on sharing my pickups, but this is one that I am really pumped to have in my collection. And I definitely got to give a shout out to Shane for giving me the heads up on this guy. Sebastian Aho on the Carolina Hurricanes. He's just an awesome young player. And this is his Young Guns card, but it's the canvas version. So I saw this and jumped on it and picked this up. Was super pumped to get it. This is one of those ones I added to my watch list, and then the seller sends the offer out because it was like me and a couple other people that were watching it. And I just jumped on it because I wanted to get a rookie card of him because he is just an awesome player. So really excited to have that one. And this one showed up in the mail. This is another recent purchase that I made. And this one I really just am super pumped to have. I've been keeping an eye out for it for a while. Ron Francis, he is, I'm quite familiar with Ron Francis because I watch Shoebox Legends channel, and he's like the Hartford Whalers fan. And so I learned all about Ronnie franchise, and Ron Francis is the one who was the architect of the Seattle Kraken, and fun to see kind of the new team and see them get going, and hopefully they can do well. Shout out to Eddie up there as well. I know he's following the Kraken this year, and this is a really awesome O-Pee-Chee rookie of Ron Francis. Great player. And then the next one that I have, this was one that I picked up off of ComC. I watched a feature on Pelle Lindbergh on the NHL Network several years ago. I had DirecTV, so I had the NHL Network on there, and learned a lot about him through a little series that they did. And just to see the talent that he had, it was very tragic. He didn't play that long, and he was killed in a car crash. And he was just a really, really awesome goalie in the early mid 80s for the Flyers, and passed away too soon, unfortunately. You always kind of wonder what could have been in a tragic case like that. And then the last card that I want to share is one that I picked up recently and I saved and was watching, and I'm so pumped to have it. The Wayne Gretzky rookie card. So I got this as a Beckett 5. So obviously not the highest grade, but man, this card is really shot up in value. So I'm glad to own a 5. 5's kind of my number that, like the Jordan rookie. I really hope I can get a Jordan rookie. I would love to own a 5. That's kind of my, my mid-tier level. I like on expensive cards if I can. Thankfully, I was able to do that with the Wayne Gretzky. I was able to at least get the 5, and I am so pumped to own this card. It's an all-time classic. And so I feel like that is definitely the centerpiece of my hockey collection right now. And probably will be forever. Wayne Gretzky's amazing. So that is my 5 that I want to share. And I just want to wrap this up, see if I can keep this about 10 minutes. It's hard to pick just one because I'm new to hockey. There are a lot of guys out there that are just doing awesome. A lot of modern guys have really impressed me that I like a lot. But then there's a lot of legends too, right? So I guess one I'll think one legend and then one modern, ultra modern guy who I would love to have a rookie of. So I guess I'll share two. Hopefully that's okay, Sticks. Forgive me if it's not. I would say my ultra modern guy that I want a card of, and if I could have any card, obviously would be Connor McDavid. I would love to have his Young Guns. The canvas would be awesome, but I would be happy with just the regular one. He's just incredible. I mean, I am just glued to the TV. Anytime I see Oilers highlights, him and Leon Draisaitl are just absolute magicians out there. They're so fun to watch. Those guys, that whole team's great. And so the McDavid Young Gun is a buku bucks card. So whether someday I'll ever own that or not, I don't know. I would love to. That would be my ultra modern card I would pick that I would love to own. And then my older school card, obviously not too old school if you're like a seasoned collector, but I would love to have the 85 Mario Lemieux rookie. That's one that I've been watching, and that one's gettable. I mean, that's a gettable card. It's not to the point of, out of reach. I feel like for me, I think I could get that one, but yeah. So that would be kind of my older card choice, the Lemieux rookie, or and the tops, right? OPC would be even better, but I'd be cool with tops, and then a McDavid Young Gun. Those would be my two. So I hope this is good. Sticks, thank you so much for the challenge. I love it. I'm so pumped to be in the hockey game and to kind of be in the hockey circle with everybody now. I love it. So that's all I got for now. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.